Welcome back to Game On. I'm John and this is Nick.
Nintendo's got a ton of flagship franchises such as Donkey Kong and Pokemon, but sometimes it's nice to see a forgotten series resurface. This happened back in August with the strategy-based Pikmin series with Pikmin 3. Here's our review. After a great sequel and 7 silent years, Nintendo finally heard their fans' pleas for more, and now Pikmin 3 is finally a reality. In the first game of the series since the GameCube days, you play not as Captain Olimar, but 3 new captains who are searching the galaxy for food after their planet is wiped dry. When they crash land on a planet that is suspiciously like Earth, they find the Pikmin, ant-like creatures that work in numbers and follow the astronauts' orders. The captains decide to use the Pikmin to help them harvest fruit around the mysterious planet, and to fend off alien enemies that threaten their mission. The Pikmin can be thrown onto items and enemies, and can be ordered to pick things up and bring them to their ships to create more Pikmin. The usual Fire Immune Red, Water Immune Blue, and Electric Immune Yellow Pikmin types are back, but the 2 new types are the Powerhouse Rock Pikmin and the Mobile Winged Pikmin. The environments of this game are beautiful and give off a nostalgic feeling of playing outside as a kid, especially now that the series is in full HD. The gameplay, while still as complex and well constructed as the last 2 games, has some minor flaws with the controls. The Wii U gamepad is great for having a map, for instance, but it makes aiming to throw Pikmin clunky. Luckily, they still give you a choice to use a Wii remote instead, so if you have one, give that a try. While there is a bit of hand-holding in the first few hours, Pikmin 3 soon turns into a challenging game filled with tough strategy and challenges, especially in the finale. My only gripe is that it's a short game. Unlike Pikmin 2, where there were a plethora of bosses and collectibles to seek out after completing the story mode, after beating the main story, in Pikmin 3 there isn't much else to do besides collect more fruit. Some downloadable maps are coming out soon, so replay value is not completely stripped. In the end, Pikmin 3 manages to take the awe and wonder of the first 2 and reinvent them in a similar yet progressive fashion. It may not be as immersive as the last one, but it's a good sequel, and a good way to introduce new people to the series. Let's hope it continues surviving. We give Pikmin 3 8 out of 10. So, it's a good game.
My main question about Pikmin. So I've never played a Pikmin game. I've played like 5 minutes the first one. Are the race of people, the main characters, are they really tiny, or is everything else really big? Because you see them, they're going around, they're collecting giant bananas and giant fruit and all this other things. And so are the fruit really big, or are the people really tiny?
That's a very good question. I'm going to go with the fruit's really big.
Also, weren't there other Pikmin in Pikmin 2? Like there was like a purple one.
Apparently they're not in the main story mode. They're in multiplayer, which is nice, kinda.
There's multiplayer?
Yeah.
So is it like 2-player co-op? Like I remember they had something like that in the first one.
I don't know. I hadn't played that bit, so I'm not familiar with that.
It's the equivalent of Pikmin deathmatch. Just murdering each other.
Throwing leeching plants on each other.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the mysteries of Pikmin will be solved another day.
I guess so.
So I agree that having some old IPs coming back is nice, but we want to see some original ideas come into play, which is very exciting. Such is the case with the Wonderful 101. In an era where Nintendo is criticized for not having any new franchises or types of games, the Wonderful 101 stands out as a gem. Developed by Platinum Games for the Wii U, it's a game that feels like a true tribute to what old-school video games used to be, while at the same time being one of the biggest breaths of fresh air in the industry. When an alien invasion is unleashed upon Earth by space pirates, the world turns to the Wonderful 100, 100 masked superheroes who unite up to defeat the menace. Only the 7 color-themed heroes are central to the plot, but the other 93 minor heroes are designed with a unique theme to them. As for the 101st hero, that's you. You control the team as you switch between the 7 main heroes, who can create giant weapons called Unite Morphs, literally made of their other teammates. Wonder Red can turn his teammates into a giant hand with pummel bows, while Wonder Blue can slice through dozens of robots with an electric sword. To switch between Unite Morphs, you can draw corresponding shapes on the gamepad, or draw them on the screen with the right analog stick. Bigger shapes mean bigger morphs, and doing them quickly lets you create combos to deal more damage. The battle system is so in-depth that a review simply can't tell you all the details. Aesthetically, the graphics are subpar, but understandably so when there is so much happening on screen. The music is catchy and memorable, and the over-the-top voice acting hits a nostalgic chord for those who grew up with superhero cartoons and Power Rangers. Replay value-wise, the game encourages multiple playthroughs, so you can better your score and unlock heroes you might not have run into the first time around. If you buy this game and put effort into learning the unique style of gameplay, you won't regret the hours you'll spend playing the Wonderful 101. We give it 9 Unite Morphs out of 10.
So, do you think being forced to turn into a giant hand by one of your coworkers would kind of hurt a little bit, being punched into a giant space alien?
I think it depends on
like, do
what
they
part
feel
of the hand
impact when they're turned into that giant hand?
I guess the people who are the knuckles. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely those are like the newbies. They're kind of the short end of the stick.
So what
probably
about, like, that one with the
vets.
RPG?
The vets are probably closer to the palm,
Yeah.
maybe, or like the fingertips.
Maybe.
Because I feel like they'd be the most sheltered. You know, why
From
not
impact.
just get the new guys?
So what
to
about
do it?
like the guy with the RPG? Like, do
I don't know
noobs
how that
all
works,
get turned into like the
honestly.
missile and then
I guess you're just firing your coworkers at people. But what do you think would be the most useless power? Like Wonder Cheese.
Wonder Cheese?
Yeah, because all the characters in this game, it's like Wonder Chef and Wonder Lumberjack.
Wonder Chef seems kind of like, oh, I'm gonna bake you into a cake, or I'm gonna bake you a poison cake. Like
spicy meatball.
Yeah, he's gonna throw his spicy meatballs at someone. I don't know.
I mean, if you can get the job done. I mean, look, if Aquaman can be a real superhero,
Aquaman is
why can't Wonder Chef be a real superhero?
Crazy. All right.
Yeah, just because
he lost his hand in the '90s.
Oh wow, that's so edgy.
Turned into a hook
That's
hand,
so
and then-
extreme.
Yeah, he went full edge in the '90s. Actually, you don't really go full edge, but he did.
Cut myself on all the edge.
Yeah.
This is Aquaman. Oh my god.
But yeah, Wonderful 101 seems interesting. It seems like a nice beat 'em up.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and it's Platinum Games, which hasn't really put out a bad action game. Like, every game they've put out, besides maybe like Anarchy Reigns, is solid.
All right. So when we come back, we'll be talking to a big Nintendo fan about what he thinks about the company is doing right and wrong.